Welcome back. This is Lore Keeper Marion, and we are currently working on a map for a very nautical themed campaign, kind of high fantasy on the high seas. Think Pirates of the Caribbean, think Muppet Treasure Island, as very whimsical and kind of lighthearted, but there's enough like serious business about to make things maybe creepy or scary for the players. So we've just gotten to the point where we are kind of this main island here. We used some dice to give us an idea of both where islands could be as well as kind of their elevations, using like 8 would be a high elevation, 7 would be kind of lower, 19 would be very high, but when I rolled these, I didn't get anything in double digits, which seems okay right now because some of our islands are coming up to be a little bit, well, like they're starting to merge together. So a dice landed here, 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 here. But because they were higher elevations, they're kind of starting to merge. So I'm drawing in, I rolled the dice to kind of get a rough idea of where land masses might be. And now I'm drawing in some contour lines to kind of show how steep or shallow certain areas are. Is it a steep cliff? So over here, these lines are very squished together. So these are a steep cliff face. This star is representing some sort of benefit for the players. Same with this star over here. And we're just kind of growing these islands out. And right now, these islands seem like they're about to merge. I've gotten, since I didn't roll above a 10, I've kind of been using the values as every value means there was a contour line of some sort. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and this one also was 7, 6, 5, 4. So now these are going to start merging together. So I still want this side to be super close together. Might even be closer together than that, but this is a rough draft. So this is going to be 3, and this was at max of 3, so like 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a little 3 there, that way I remember. That one doesn't need any more lines. But 3. In the last video, we were saying that this was probably some sort of, this benefit here, I put a little star here, was some sort of hermit-ish wizard. He's like hermit-ish in the sense that he's not like, he doesn't despise people, but at the same time, he doesn't really like being around society, so he's decided to kind of cloister himself off on that little island, and maybe he's put some sort of deterrence on the island, or maybe there's some natural deterrence on the island that people wouldn't necessarily go seeking him out. And I'm thinking maybe part of the natural deterrence would also be very steep. And last video we were saying maybe there's some big crashing waves on this side, which is why this benefit is hidden as well. So if there's some big waves, then there might be some strong currents through here. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind and try not to build out this island. I want there to be still some water there and some gap, so that the currents, it would make sense that there are strong currents. Like I said, I'm building this for my upcoming Daggerheart campaign, which I want to be high fantasy on the high seas. And Daggerheart does have some absolutely gorgeous maps for their campaign frames, and this one was also available in the 1.5 materials, and they had lots of maps to kind of go off of with little features to kind of spark the imagination. Like, I love on this map, if it'll focus, I love the features on these maps because sometimes they're very like, ooh, what is that? What is that? What is that? And they're not labeled or anything like that. Like, this one looks like maybe some sort of dead forest. Oh, what is that? I just noticed. There's some sort of like crawling pyramid with legs. So these maps are kind of like a Where's Waldo? This one has a little, looks like it might have a little community of some sort built into the caverns or built into the cliff walls there, a bit like Mesa Verde. So they do have these gorgeous maps, unlabeled, or at least for the, they've got these basic maps. They also have campaign maps that fit the campaign frames. Those do have a few more things labeled, but there's still a lot of unlabeled spots. And those are definitely intentionally unlabeled so that it encourages DMs and players to use your own imagination to come up with places that interest you and your players. For me, none of these, in my opinion, or at least none of the ones that I saw, are as open ocean as I would like personally. So I'm creating my own kind of open ocean, very aquatic. I haven't decided on what these scales are yet. And even on the Daggerheart maps, there is no grid, there is no scales. And that's so that players and GMs have the flexibility to make this map their own, make this world their own. Do you and your players want this to be 5 miles apart, 20 miles apart? Is it within walking distance of a day? Or is it 100 miles apart and it's really a bit more of a trek to get there on foot? And I'm using these 100 miles distances, one, because I'm American and I know those distances, and two, I know it's a reference point for a lot of people, but Daggerheart is moving away from grids, because if you need a grid, then that's one more thing for either the GM to buy or the players to buy for the GM, and then that can get messy. So we're just, I'm using those numbers, but they don't have to be used. This is getting a little steep over here. Let's see. This was a 2. That was 3. I'm gonna make that one a little smaller, I think. This would be just a little one. Just a little one right there. Kind of off the side. Because I don't want this one to be so big that it absolutely overwhelms the entire map. This is our level 2. Starting to get a little close over here as well. We'll see. This one might wind up, I think I might wind up combining these as well. So this is definitely going to be the big island. And it's going to have kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 peaks-ish. So I'm gonna bring this a little closer. But then I'm gonna bring it closer to this island, but then I want these hills to be real steep still. Real steep. These are so steep. So that's my level 2. Then 1. I kind of want this to be a little bit more alcoved. Like maybe there's a little harbor here, so I'm going to bring in this 3 a little bit more. That way the 2 can come in a little more, and that way 1 can kind of do this. And then real close. Steep cliffs over here. Almost on top of each other. And then since I'm gonna go ahead and join that to this one. So this is we're combining this. I don't know if the camera bit audio picked that up. That was a big trash truck, most likely of some sort. That was not thunder. It is a lovely sunny day here. It'll probably turn into a massively hot summer, but right now it's a nice sunny day. Okay. Ooh, I like how that island looks. Look how, and like just kind of letting your fingers wander through the page is just one way to make it kind of looks organic. Ooh, I like how this is going. That's a 1. So this was just a little island. That might be maybe like that's a resort beach or something for somebody. 3, 2, 1. 4. I'm gonna scooch him just a little out because I don't want to interrupt the flow of water. I might even remove it completely because I really want the waves to be bashing into that cliffside. So even though I usually like to play it as I like the dice land where they do, and when I'm running games, a lot of times I don't fudge the dice unless I think like, oh man, my dice are rolling really hot, or I made this just a little bit more difficult than I anticipated. Most of the time I let the dice roll as they are. I don't pay attention. I don't punish my dice for rolling low, either as a player or as a GM. I just let them roll. But since this is a map, I'm gonna erase that guy. I don't want that guy there. We've got another little shallow island over there, so I might make that one slightly smaller as well. I wonder if any of these first level islands, do they, when the tide comes, do they get swamped? Are they swampy islands? Are they like Venice, where the high tide comes and all of their cities are on stilts? Ooh, I like that. This is a city on stilts. So I'm gonna make a note there. So that it's wide enough to hold a community, but every time the tide comes, they actually turn into a swamp. Or they are a swamp, and they have just enough dry land to kind of sustain themselves, but they all of their houses and whatnot need to be a little higher up. Let's see, we've got a 5 over here. So let's see. I'm also going to move it just slightly up, just slightly. And we'll start with slightly smaller. So that's going to be 5, then 4, 3, so that one's kind of nice sloping, wide and sloping. This one has some steep cliffs. 5, 4, 3, 2. What else I forgot? We've got, let's see, keep working. So we've got I put a hashtag over here because I rolled some dice colored, so that's why I keep saying there's a boon here and there's a benefit there, and I rolled some of these d6s and I had 2 yellow ones and a couple of blue ones and a couple of dark blue ones, and the 2 yellow ones were boons, and they landed about there. And then these dark blue ones were strong hazards, and the light blue ones were kind of small hazards, medium hazards. Could be good, could be bad, could be really bad, but who knows? So wonder what could be. They're both kind of in the water. All 3 of my really bad ones are in the water. I think I'm going to leave the really bad ones in the water over here, but I might add an island. Since I took an island away, I might add an island over here and have that be like a super dangerous island. I feel like anytime you have islands, one of them needs to be like an island of lost creatures, a bit Lost World-ish. So I want one of these to be like Island of Dinosaurs. Maybe that one's down here, because this is a semi-hazard. And there's a semi-hazard up here as well. So maybe down here is our semi-hazard of dinosaurs. And it's far enough away from the main island that maybe they don't realize what kind of hazards it is. Maybe there's kind of rumors of hazards. But then still, I don't know what these sunken hazards are. And they are definite, absolute hazards. Maybe y'all can leave me some comments of what you think these absolute hazards are. And I've also got a semi-hazard out in the water over here and over here. So leave me some ideas. What do you think would be good, either semi-hazards or full-on don't go near that spot? But of course, if this is adventurers we're talking about, we got to get them near there. What would tempt them also near to those hazards? So if you leave a comment of what a hazard might be, make sure that you also include why you think adventurers would be tempted to go there. So if we're trying to get them to the island of lost creatures down here, why would they want to go there in the first place? Gotta give them some reason to go there. 5, 4, 3, 2, kind of nice and wide and easy to land on. So why haven't people gone to land on it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Also, geologists and various people who deal with these kinds of topographical maps this is not my science, so please, if I make mistakes or like, oh yeah, it shouldn't ever be this or that or the other, let me know, but gently, please. I'm more than willing to learn, but at the same time, please know I don't deal with these kinds of maps in my everyday life. This is definitely just for fun. I like making maps this way. I like building out the land masses these way. I think I'm gonna end this video here. That way, nice little map building. I'll keep map building in the next one as well. But like I said, leave me a comment on what you think these various hazards are. I think this one is going to be a jungle island. This one is a dormant volcano. Dormant. That maybe could go off. Maybe there's a seal of some sort. That could be keeping the island dormant. Over here, so what's over here though? What's over here? What are these semi-hazards? What are these strong hazards? Leave me a comment and tell me why adventurers might go there. Have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this video, and enjoy Daggerheart and TTRPGs.